if I wanted to add using the stacking method, but I had different types of bases, what would that look like? So a reminder, when I say base, I mean this z cubed is a base, this z is a base, z squared is a base, and this z as well is a base. So when I say different types of bases, I mean when I look at these two polynomials, I see that in this first set of polynomials, I have a z cubed, but there isn't a z cubed in this second set of polynomials. Same with my z squared. I see that I have a z squared, but there's no z squared in the first set of polynomials. So I know already when I'm doing the stacking method that it's going to look a little bit different because I can only stack like bases, meaning they have to be exactly the same. So first, when I'm stacking, I love to get rid of my brackets first. I know that the invisible number outside of a bracket when you don't see anything is a positive 1, and whenever you distribute a positive 1 into the brackets, it's essentially saying that you can get rid of the brackets without changing anything, because when you times anything by a positive 1, it stays exactly the same. So I could rewrite that as 7z cubed plus 4z minus 1. Now I go to my second set of polynomials, and again I see it's a positive 1 that you'd be distributing in, so I know that those brackets can disappear, nothing has changed. But now I'm going to stack them underneath here. But again, I know I can only stack like bases. And I notice that I don't have a 7z, I have a 7z cubed here, but I don't have a z cubed over in this set of polynomials. So what I can do to hold the place of that is add a 0z cubed. I know I can do this because whenever you add or subtract a 0 of anything, it remains exactly the same. So it's not going to change anything. 7z cubed plus 0z cubed will still be 7z cubed. Okay, now I'm going to move on to this 4z. And I see over here in this polynomial that I do in fact have a z number, so I'm going to bring that down underneath it because I can stack those ones. I have a negative 6z, and the reason I get the negative is you have to take the same symbol with whatever's in front of the number, or term as you could say. So I know that that's how I know it's negative. And then I see I have this constant of negative 1, and I know in this polynomial I do as well have a constant. It's this positive 2. So I can stack that. Now, I've included this 7z cubed, I've included the 4z and the negative 1, and I've included the negative 6z and the positive 2. The only thing I haven't included yet is this 2z squared. So I can add that to the bottom here, 2z squared. And if I wanted to, just to make it make sense in my head, I can add that same 0z squared. And that just helps me see that it's the same term that's being stacked. So 7z cubed plus 0z cubed, as I said, doesn't change anything, so it remains 7z cubed. Then I have 4z plus minus 6z, and where I get the plus is here, so you're adding them, right? But we know that a plus minus, whenever you see plus minus, it's just really another way of saying minus. So 4 minus 6z is what you could say. We know that's going to give us a negative 2z. Then we have negative 1 plus 2, and that's going to give us a positive 1. And then here we have 0z squared plus 2z squared. Again, when you add a 0 of anything to a term, it's going to remain exactly the same. So this remains our 2z squared. There we go. We're almost done now. And we can see that everything is different bases. We have a z cubed, a z, and a z squared. And they're all different bases, so we know that we can't combine anything more. But as always in polynomials, we're very concerned with degrees. So this term we know is a degree 3 because of this exponent. This term is a degree 1 because any variable has an invisible 1 exponent if it doesn't already have a number. We don't care about the degree of this one because it's a constant and there are no variables, so we move on. And this one we see is a degree 2. So we have to put these in order of descending from greatest to smallest of degrees. So I'm going to start with my 7z cubed because that's my largest degree at 3. Then I'm going to move over to this term because 2 is my second largest term, so 2z squared. So then we go to this one, minus 2z plus 1. And that is my final answer. It's in the correct order, and it's as simplified as possible.